Welcome to the 30-Minute Hour. It's the personal development podcast for entrepreneurs who are looking to level up and become unstoppable. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs, your procrastination prevention partner. Joining me as always, you know him as the super CEO, the business strategist extraordinaire, and all-around good guy, Ted Fells.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday it is.
Man, they move like this, Eric and Kevin. It's like Monday. Before you know it, we're 150 years old. It just goes just like this, man. It's flying.
It just goes by fast, I'd imagine, after you do so many. Wow.
Man.
Well, a couple of things. So the Mondays, as Ted mentioned, they go by fast. But we're at what? This is our 142nd episode. And wow. We have surpassed over 100,000 downloads.
What?
Man.
That's
Eric,
so amazing.
Eric, they didn't think we could do it. No one believed in us but us.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Exactly. They said we couldn't do it. We just used it as bulletin board material.
That's what it was. You know how in sports, Kevin, that's what they always do, man. They're like, man, no one believed in us. No one. Come on, Patriots. They totally believe it. We've been doing it for the past 15 years. Stop trying to find some way to motivate you. They didn't believe. They didn't know we could do it.
It's like, okay, LeBron James, I think people believed in you.
No one was betting against you.
We were expecting that. It was like, why haven't you done it yet? Yo, come on.
So even my mom, she even betted against me. No one was with us.
Well, that actually is how it is for me. I mean, I had told my mom I was running for president of the United States and asked her if I had her vote. And she said, well, it depends on what you're going for. And I guess that's a good thing. You know, she wants to make sure I'm a good guy and all. But, you know, I am her son. You think she'd know that by now, right? But, you know, no confidence in her son. But that's okay. You know, doesn't matter. We say fuck the fuckers. We say to the naysayers, it's okay. We still love you. Won't change where we're going.
All right. Well, as you can tell, this is truly not your everyday podcast. And we do things a little differently around here on the 30-Minute Hour. So shout out to those of you watching us live right now. You can watch us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. You can also catch the replay of this episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any of those places where you like to listen to podcasts. But again, we are truly psyched. And we're thankful that you hung in there with us for these 142 episodes and well over 100,000 plus downloads. Our goal is to help you to laugh, to learn, and then ultimately level up. And if you feel like we've done that for you, make sure you share the show.
Share the show. Share the show.
Exactly. Don't forget to share the show.
Yeah.
Share the show. It's not as much.
That's
If
it.
you receive value, share the show. That's
Even
so
if you
easy.
did. Even if you didn't. Share it. Give us maybe one of your friends receive value from it. And then we'll try again next week.
Exactly. Because it's not always just about you, right? Somebody else can get the value.
Definitely true. Definitely true.
That's right.
All right. So shout out to the What Now movement. I know quite a few of the folks in the movement are watching us right now. Today is Marketing Monday. Please make sure you check out the video, the short video, short, sweet, to the point, by Maisha B. Hoy. She is our Chief Marketing Director of the What Now movement. She left us 3 tips to help you to get your marketing right over the holidays and going into the new year. Make sure you check that out. And don't forget, you have a podcast, you can drop the link in the Marketing Monday post, and that way we can subscribe and follow and share and all that good stuff.
They also could drop a link to their business website as well, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Marketing Monday.
Who knew?
That's an excellent service.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the
Thank you,
value
Kevin.
you guys are creating in the market. I mean, it's incredible,
Look at it.
really.
Look at it, Kevin. Look at it.
Because truly, it is all about who you know. And if you can connect people from one part of the world with another part, you could spawn who knows what you would create from that. And it's happening all like without you even knowing what's happening. I'm sure you guys get like testimonials and like tell you about all the amazing things that have come from what you guys do.
All the time. But there's room for more.
Absolutely.
Keep it coming.
There certainly is.
Right.
There certainly is.
Kevin's gonna fit in.
I'm telling you, I like Kevin, man.
I'm like,
Kevin is just
like Kevin. What you doing next Monday, man?
Marketing Monday.
You fit right in.
we may need you again next Monday, Kevin. This is working so well here.
Let's see how many consecutive episodes I can be on with you guys. So 142. How long can we go? You know.
There you go. But see, I got to be careful though, Kevin, because one day I'll start looking and stuff will be popping up. Someone will say, "Man, that was a great show you guys had last week. Where were you, Ted?" What do you mean? Eric and Kevin's out here. They're doing the show without me. You guys, don't try to take my square. Don't try to take my square.
That's hilarious, man. No, we're all unique and one of a kind, man. Nobody can replace you.
Thank you.
There you go. So Ted, I've got something that's on my mind.
Please share, Eric.
So today, Ted, I want to talk about escaping that box that you feel stuck in.
Whew, escaping the box that you feel stuck in. All right.
Right. So the term outside the box it's become overused in the business circles and just in life in general. Right. But I found this specific reference by this author. His name is Gay Hendricks, that can really help people to escape the box that they're stuck in. He wrote this book. It's the latest book of his. It's called The Genius Zone. And he provides a different twist on this idea of getting outside the box. So here's what he says. He says that the instructions on how to get out of the box are often written on the outside of the box. That's what he said. And he said, to get outside of the box you're stuck in, you need to ask someone who's already outside of the box for help. Because they're the only ones that can read what's on the outside of the box. So we're starting to answer this question of how do you escape that box you feel stuck in? And here's the part of the show, Kevin. We need people's undivided attention, right? We have a lot of people who listen to us while they're driving. For this next thing, we need you to pull over to the side of the road. We just need to pull over to the side. We need your undivided attention. I know we have a lot of people who listen to us while they're in the gym. You're on the treadmill, just press pause. You gotta press pause on the treadmill. So Ted, is there anything else the people need to do?
Kevin, no matter how good it is, you got to put the ham sandwich down right now because it's about to get good. You got to focus in on what we're about to say.
Dude, I'm in the present moment. So hardcore right now. I can't even tell.
That's right.
That's right. You got to put the ham sandwich down. So the question on the floor is, how do you escape that box you feel stuck in? The secret is to move from isolation to association. That's how you do it. You have to move from isolation to association. And here's the deal. You can't achieve true greatness in isolation. Not going to happen. You can't achieve true greatness in isolation. And when you move from isolation to association, you'll feel like you won the golden ticket. That's right. You'll feel like that. And this just leads right into our guest today, right? So our guest, he felt like he was stuck inside this box earlier in his career, and he'll tell us all about that. But then he moved from isolation to association by attending the Proctor Gallagher Institute, which led to him becoming the founder of Golden Ticket Coaching.
I like how you did that.
Sounds so good to hear you say it.
You threaded it. Boy, you threaded that needle. You threaded that needle there, man. Wow.
Hey, look, Jay, this is Needle Thread Monday. We got to do this thing. We got names for the Mondays. Needle Thread Monday. All right.
That's right.
That's right. So he became the founder of Golden Ticket Coaching, which he founded to help people get hold of the things that seemed impossible for them. Please join me in welcoming to the 30-Minute Hour podcast, Kevin Koch.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Yes.
It is my pleasure. Thank you.
I'm glad to formally welcome you to the show. It's truly an honor to have you on the program today. And again, this is going to be another one of those episodes where we take people's excuses away. I know there's other people that feel stuck in their current situation. We have quite a few people who, the show's for entrepreneurs. We have people that aspire to be entrepreneurs and may feel stuck. So that's why we brought that up. But before we really get into that part of it, let's give people some context. Kevin, let's roll back the clock. Let's talk about when you graduated from Bluegrass Community and Technical College. What were your career plans at that time?
Man, I could not wait to get out of college because I wasn't really feeling electrical engineering. It was never really a passion. I had done what most people do, which is, what am I good at? What do I like? What have I heard other people say makes good money? Blah, blah, blah. And I went into electrical engineering, but I had no passion whatsoever. Quickly realized it after a year and a half, sitting in a class with a bunch of intuits. I'm like, this is not for me. So jumped ship, actually never finished college, never wanted to, never felt like it was for me. I always felt like there was something that was just going to present itself to me and I would just know it. And that's exactly what happened to me.
Interesting. So you said something would present itself to you. Let's talk more about that. What do you mean when you say something presented itself to you?
Well, when I was about 19 years old, I went to Brazil. I was raised Mormon. That was kind of the tradition. From 19 to 21, I was in Brazil. Incredible experience. Came home, quickly married another young, beautiful Mormon girl. Ended up starting my life. Moved to Cincinnati for 12 years, worked as a medical device sales rep. Had the family, had the whole thing, and had what most people would say was like a great situation, beautiful situation. But there was something inside of me seeking expression, and I didn't call it I want to be an entrepreneur. I just said that I want to be able to help people in a bigger way somehow. Thought I wanted to get into training. There was really no opportunity for that in my job. So I was just studying personal development. I'd studied books like The Secret or Eckhart Tolle, or, eventually led me to Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor, just everything he said was just so true about your potential is much greater than you think it is. And I'd always believed that or wanted to believe it, but I just didn't have anybody encouraging me to that extent. And so I just took it as like, man, I got to meet this guy. So I literally picked up the phone and I'm like, can I talk with Bob Proctor? And they said, well, he's a busy guy, but we'll put you on the phone with one of his coaches. And that was my introduction to coaching. I mean, I'd heard of Tony Robbins and the like, but I really didn't know about the whole field of coaching and helping people in like a really big way. I found out that I was really going to be helping myself discover who I am. At an energetic essence, with the most purest form, that perfect consciousness created by God. And once you get to know what that really means, your potential is uncapped. Your potential is unleashed. And it is a developmental process of learning and becoming aware of your true potential. But any entrepreneur that wants to start any endeavor without really getting to know who they are, it will be, I don't want to sound negative because I'm not a negative person, but it will be it won't be as easy, I would say. It's been much more easy now that I've understood who I am, what I'm capable of, and how to get it, how to understand the mind and how to set goals for yourself, how to believe in yourself enough to go after things that you want and learn how to use the law of attraction to make your life easy. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs get started well-meaning, wanting to get rid of the 9-to-5 and leave the rat race, but they're not truly prepared and they don't focus on themselves. They don't necessarily take personal development courses, and sometimes they fall flat. So that would be the one thing that I would suggest for any entrepreneur wanting to really be successful is study yourself before anything else.
Wow.
Study yourself. So what I know about medical device sales, it is lucrative. Yeah. And I would have to imagine that you had people around you looking at you crazy when you said you would jumping out to be a full-time entrepreneur. Talk about that process, that transition where you probably had people close to you that were like, are you sure? I don't know.
Well, I think because I had been raised to be so like, are you sure? Like always doubting me. So then I led me to doubt myself. And I learned later that was part of my paradigm that was holding me back, was that I would doubt myself all the time. And I figured out where it came from, and then I was able to kind of rewrite that script for myself and become very decisive. And now I make decisions very quickly. And it's a process of, for 33 years or however long I was taught how to do something, it takes a while to unprogram yourself. But, I was just talking to a client of mine who's wanting to become an entrepreneur, yet he still has a day job. And he just said, just like it's cushy. He says he feels kind of bored because it's just not challenging him. I'm like, that's exactly where I was. I'd reached tenure in my company. I've been there for 12 years. Everybody else had come and went. And I'm like, why am I sticking around here? I just didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe I could do more. And my boss was not very like you can do greater than these things. Let me help you, rank up in our organization. It was very kind of like, no, this is how we're doing it. And I'd gone to him before I left. Because last year I was there, I won President's Club. And this is after I started studying The Secret and learned that you could just manifest by believing it. And I did that shit. And in 2018, went to the Cayman Islands, beautiful, all expenses trip. And it was the first year I'd done it. And I was like, well, if I can do this, I can do anything. That's when I started to believe in myself. But when I came back, I talked to my boss about, hey, why don't we structure this to where my kids can come work for here? Like, I want to be able to see that there's a place to grow. And it just kind of fell on deaf ears. So that's when I just called Bob Proctor. They said, well, we've got a training coming up. You can come become a consultant. And it's 30 G's. Come on up next week. And I'm like, And and then 2 days later is when, this is actually the experience. I'll share it with you. I was sitting outside of a patient's home about to go in. I've developed a really good relationship with this woman afterwards, because that was like a pivotal moment in my life. He called me and he said, hey, do you want to go over your sales numbers? And I'm like, I don't really want to, I just don't know if I ever want to do that again, actually. And he's like, okay, well, maybe we should talk. And I said, yeah, we should talk. And I went in there and served that patient. And then a couple of days later, we talked. And I'm like, I just want to grow. And I feel like the universe has just given me this opportunity to be a consultant for Bob Proctor.
Your sound's going out.
Oh yeah, and we got to hear this because you did this, and we was like, okay, he's doing this. It's got to be something good. So glad we got you back.
Can you hear me back now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, 2 weeks or like a week later or like a few days later, like my mom and dad couldn't even watch the kids. We got our neighbors to watch our kids. And me and my wife drove to Toronto and had this week-long, like, life-changing experience of being trained by the world's best in, personal development, and all of his colleagues and associates and people he'd trained. And it was just like the incredible energy in the room was like, you felt like you could move a mountain, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I quickly learned that this was the industry that I was meant to be in. So when I came back, it was like, even though I had a good position, it wasn't worth the sacrifice of not living my dream, living my purpose. I felt like I'd finally found the place where I was going to be best serving my innate who I was.
Mm-hmm. So
I think that's so important, man. Entrepreneurs sometimes get started and they're like, I just want to make a quick buck, but it's not about the money. It's about finding purpose, and the money follows that drive, that path that you're on.
That's a key thing that you said there, because you hear people say if you find something that's your purpose, you feel like you're not working, right? It's like you're just doing what you're meant to do, and that's so important, because that drives you through those times when you're when you're not making the money, right? But you're still attacking your purpose. So that's key.
Yeah, you've got to be willing to, like, when I decide to work with a client or not, I'm asking them a couple things. I ask them, are you committed to get the results that you want? Because there's going to be times where you don't want to do it, but you're going to have to do it anyway. Like, I'll show up to the call, but are you going to be on the other end? And you can be interested, but not committed. Interest just means that you're going to do whatever is convenient. But committed means you do whatever it takes, and you don't make time or money excuses. You just do it because you said you were going to do it. And there's not a lot of people that are at that level, except for the ones that I love working with. So it works out perfect. But it really takes that, though. It takes that to get your goal. It does. And you develop that over time. I would not say that I was this way when I got this started. Not at all. But I've had to become it, and it's become a natural just process.
What advice do you have for that person? They feel like they're stuck right now. They feel like they want to be a full-time entrepreneur, but they're in a position like you're in, where they've got a job that pays well. Maybe they're doing well in the company, but they feel like there's more. What advice do you have for that person?
Yeah, I would ask them, what is that more that you're going after? Because people only do things for two reasons. One is to avoid a loss or gain a profit. So if there's nothing in it for you, you're not going to move. Now, some people, I think the problem is the majority of people, they just don't have they're not used to dreaming. They're not used to seeing beyond. They're not used to seeing beyond what they have and what they think is possible. Like they look at what their parents earned and they think, well, that's probably the cap of what I'll earn. Maybe I can double that, but they never think in terms of I can quadruple what my parents have had success-wise, you know? And success is not just money. It's all areas of life. Like could be people watching this that are making bank, but they don't have that happiness that comes from peace, from being in the moment, that present moment. So there's a lot to the mind, and you can't get to know yourself unless you're present, unless you're in the now, and that brings you back peace, so you can actually go towards your dreams. Because the worst thing is going towards your dreams and you're in anxiety. It's not very effective.
So I'm telling you, Kevin, this stuff is really good that you're saying, and I think it's so good, Eric. I'm hearing it twice because there's an echo.
I know, I hear that too.
What'd you do, Eric? Eric did something because he's the only one who did
everything. Because it seemed like it came back after you got your sound back, Kevin.
It's better or worse, the same.
I think it's good now.
What about now?
Still hit a little bit, but let's just go with it.
Okay.
How does this sound? Better?
It sounds good on my end. So you're the founder of Golden Ticket Coaching.
Correct.
Let's talk about that. Like, what's the mission, and who specifically do you help?
Okay, so the mission of Golden Ticket Coaching is to assure admittance to the life of your dreams. Our purpose is to invite you to awaken to your purpose. And we believe that, our vision really is to enhance the collective consciousness one mind at a time. Just awaken everybody to the truest potential of themselves. And as a group, we just all develop and evolve as a people. That's awesome. That's an exciting goal that I get up every day and I say, how can I do that on a grassroots level? Who can I connect with today that's going to change their life in some positive way? It's awesome. And what was your second question?
So who is your typical client?
Oh, it's an entrepreneur who wants to quit their job and they want to do this thing called leave a legacy for their and find their purpose truly, but they don't really know how to say it that way. They don't know how to say, I want to find my purpose. They just say, I really want more. And I don't know how to express that. And I feel stuck, right? It's a much deeper process of evolving into who you are. But on the surface, it's just, you want more success. You want to have more, you want to have a lifestyle, and you want to make it easier and not have like anxiety and, highs and lows in life, just to feel in harmony with peace. You know what I mean? For some people, that is like a foreign thought, and it's much easier to attain. And once you get there, everything becomes easier.
And, as we're talking about this idea of being stuck, one of the things, and the people I've coached over the years, that in most cases, when somebody's stuck, I would even say like 80% of the time, if somebody's stuck, it's a mindset issue.
Absolutely.
Like the business just isn't moving. We're focused in the right areas. They seem like they're taking the right steps. They're just not moving. A lot of times it's mindset. Can you kind of talk to that? I mean, do you have a model that you use to kind of help people to get past that?
Yeah, I always ask the same question. Who's your coach? Because there's never a time when you shouldn't have a coach. Never. I mean, you always have a coach in essence with whoever you're around. You become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Everybody hears that. But what does that mean? Well, if your parent is around you all the time, then they're your coach. What are they teaching you? Are they teaching you how to be a millionaire or how to, work at a library? Nothing's wrong with either one, but which one do you want? So, what environment are you putting yourself in order to grow? And, if your coach or the people you surround yourself with, if you're not putting yourself around like a mastermind, that's a very important principle that you'll learn as an entrepreneur and from, Think and Grow Rich. The mastermind principle helps you get what you want much quicker and easier by using the collective effort of other people's minds and the power that comes by 2 or 3 gathered in my name, So who's helping you discover your true potential and how easy it can be? Most people that have a coach, they understand the value, and they continue to keep a coach forever. And they usually take a percentage of their income and they invest it into a coach, but they know that that's an investment in themselves, because that coach is helping them see in themselves what's blocking them. The coach doesn't do anything for you. He's not, doing anything for you really, but being there and creating a space, and trained enough in the laws of the universe to know that when you're outside of the laws of the universe, why you're attracting what you don't want. So you just get back in alignment, so to speak, and then it's easy. And then we teach you to be a practitioner of it, so to speak. You're like, I don't want to just have you come to me when you're sick, like a doctor. I want to teach you to be your own doctor of your own mind and know what's going on up there. And if you can do that and you continually just grow, there's nothing you can't do. You just got to learn certain principles like persistence. Huge principle that all entrepreneurs have to learn.
Interesting. Talk more about that persistence.
Man, every morning, to answer your other question too, what I would recommend is do something every single morning that holds you accountable. Like I have a call in the morning called Coffee with Cognizance. It's 6 a.m. every morning. I'm up. I'm actually at 5:30 listening to one of our lessons that I'm there every morning, and all my clients go and we listen to a lesson in the morning. And then in the evening, I do it again on their own accord. Then we're in a group, Coffee with Cognizance, and it's just the 1% every day that you are intentively, you're putting intention behind growth. You must be intentional. And persistence was one of the articles we read. So we read for 3 weeks, which is what it takes to, develop a habit or whatever. And so I could probably memorize the whole article, but it really helps you understand at a deep level what persistence is. There's a whole chapter in Think and Grow Rich. It's chapter 9 if you want to read it, but persistence, without persistence, you go nowhere. Because it's always a developmental process. You'll judge yourself and say, well, I should be here, and since I'm not there yet, I should give up. No, that's you judging yourself. Just have more persistence, even through the self-doubt, as you're working through it. Because if your dad wasn't an entrepreneur, and it's maybe not going to come natural to you. It wasn't for me. My dad just retired from corporate America. And what I'm doing, they think I'm crazy. I heard him telling somebody tonight, I overheard my mom saying, is he still doing that, whatever he's doing? And it's like, I don't expect everybody to know, but you have to be okay with that. And that's one of the things you just got to get tough skin around it. It doesn't matter what they say. You just love the passion. You love the dream. You love the drive.
I think you have to expect that it's going to be hard. I think if you go in with rose-colored glasses, that's one thing. But I think if you go in with an expectation that this is going to be work and it's not going to be tomorrow, I think it can help with that whole persistence thing.
Yeah, I mean the whole thought about hard versus easy. It's interesting because, like the other day, I had a client call and she said, and I did this, and then it just happened, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, let me ask you a question. How easy was that? And she got a giggle, and she's like, it was so easy. I'm like, I know, because all she did was take her mind and shift it a little. And she saw the situation differently. And then suddenly it got easy. So I'm not saying that there's not going to be, we call them challenges or opportunity growth or opportunities for growth, But it's all about how you see it. So if you even use the word hard and that has a connotation where it's like, I don't want to do it, I would just say change the word, change the meaning you assign to that word. But believe that everything is possible. And if you believe it's hard, it will be hard. Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So it's whatever you believe it. So you got to check your beliefs. Like, why do you believe it's hard? What if you could believe that it could be easy? How would that look? And then you get this really good feeling like, oh my God, that would be awesome if it was easy. Well, how can you make it easy? There's so much to mindset that people think it's just about being happy, and it's definitely not. It's strategic. Mindset is like a chess game in the mind. So if you find yourself getting bored with life, maybe you should be a coach. So you can help figure out other people's, dilemmas. I love it. I would be bored without it.
So what percentage of people come to you? There's this whole thing with the fixed versus growth mindset, where the fixed people think that I'm just the way that this is just the way it is. This is just how I am. The growth think, okay, I can improve. I mean, what percentage of people come to you that have a growth mindset?
Well, I don't think people come to me if they don't have a growth mindset, but I think everybody starts at the one, and then they eventually get to a point in their life, something happens, like they'll have a paradigm shift, something really traumatic will happen or whatever. And then they'll be forced to think outside the box. That happens, but it's usually like a negative thing happens. You're like, God, I need to think about life differently. And then that's when they'll start self-discovery, and they'll read a book. Someone gives them a book and they'll read it, and then they'll go on YouTube, and then they'll eventually find a coach if they're lucky. But I think all those people start like where I was. I always asked questions. I was always very inquisitive, but I was always told to just kind of like mute myself, so to speak, in life in general. So it's really just about empowering people. Just do you, be you, and don't worry about what people think of you. If you got a goal and a dream, go do it. Like some people think it golden ticket. What are you, a kid? Willy Wonka, oh, chocolate bar? Look, it has a specific meaning. If you ask me, I'll help you believe in that dream too. But I got to listen to other people that don't believe in my dream. It's fine. We only attract people that do support us, and that's what people have to get used to, is being around people that actually support you. For a lot of people, that's an odd concept. To have people that are really supportive around you all the time. Most people are used to having that antagonist in your life, but it doesn't have to be that way. First of all, you don't have to see it that way. But second of all, you can attract people that really do support you.
You know, it's funny though, with entrepreneurs or people that want to be entrepreneurs, I mean, they're usually doing it for like, one or two reasons, right? One, either they want to make a lot of money, or two, they don't want to have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it is. Like, I'm tired of my boss telling me to do this. I don't want to do it this way. I think I can do it better. I want to be my own boss. I want to, come to work when I want, shut down when I want, and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I think with that mindset, that you're going to have challenges there, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you're still going to be answering to some people. You're going to be answering to your customer, right? And you can come in and start the day whenever you want, end the day whenever you want. See how that works for you, and then making a lot of money. You may not make a lot of money, or you may not make a lot of money at first. I mean, you got to persevere. You're gonna have to, be consistent with this thing for some time.
Yeah.
And just because Joe or Joan, it just took off for them in, the first month, does not mean that's going to happen for you that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a client that had been doing real estate. He'd left his corporate business and he said, I'm going to do this real estate investment thing. And he'd been working at it about 7 months, and we connected. And after a couple of months, he finally landed this big deal. It was like 40 G's. And he was like, damn, I can do this. So what we did was worked on him a little bit of his confidence. We had a confidence formula. I had him go over that every day, had him get his goals real clear and start changing the story about what he believed he was capable of doing. And then the universe kind of lined up. He might have had a thought, well, let me do this. And then this happened. And then he went in to get the check, and everybody was like, nah, don't get used to that. That's not normal. And I'm like, that's a mindset, isn't it? I mean, someone needs a mindset coach up in here.
That's right. What do you mean it's not? This is how I do it. Yeah, you're right. It's not normal. Next time it's gonna be 80,000.
It's right. Get used to it, boys.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about what you believe, and you will never outperform your self-image. So, I mean, the one thing I would tell any entrepreneur that's starting off, if you don't have a good concept of yourself, you must study yourself, like your self-image, like who you think you are. That's going to set the ceiling for what you can attain. That's like one of the most powerful lessons I teach people. And it was a powerful lesson for me. I was holding myself back in many areas that, I can thankfully say I don't anymore.
Now, I'm telling you that is.
Kevin, you got me pumped up, man.
Yeah.
Every now and then there's a guest that kind of gets me going. And I'm just trying to sit still. It's hard. You got me going. I'm ready.
It's the real deal, man. It's a golden ticket. I didn't name it like this for no reason, man. It is the admittance to the life of your dreams. And you just got to take the first step. So the one thing I did change right here, it says, greetings to you, the decisive winner of the golden ticket coaching. Because you have to decide, and most people have not learned how to make decisions. We have an article we read for 3 weeks. It was called Decision. It was Bob Proctor on how to make decisions, the power of decisions, how the far-reaching effects that decisions have on our lives. And we don't teach decision-making in any school. Like, what's up with that? Is it any wonder people can't make the decision like, okay, boss, you've molested me too many times. I'm out of here. No, they just stick it out. What are you doing? Because you're afraid to make a decision, because how will that affect other people? You're worried about what they will think of you if you do the thing you want to do. And it's all of that self-image. Like, what will they think of me? It's none of your business what people think of you. That was the most powerful thing I've heard. I teach that to people as quickly as I possibly can. It's none of your GD business what people think of you. And once you can really master that, your life will completely change.
That's interesting that you say that. I had a situation, I shared that with Eric one time when someone said to me, when in business and was having some challenges, and the person said, Ted, why don't you ever think about quitting? Are you concerned that the people that we know will think that you are a failure? That's what the person said to me. And I said, well, one, God is not going to let me fail. And two, care anything about what people think, right? Because most of the people, they're wishing they had the guts to do what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Right? They're just sitting there talking about it, thinking I'm going to start something one day, and but then when you step out, I mean, you're one of those unique individuals that go out there and go for it and are willing to, take those take that head on. We have one of our viewers here, Rima Payne. She says, "This is so good!" Exclamation point. Check your self-image. You got her going. Rima Payne, thank you for that. She is feeling this too. She's running around wherever she is. I know she's running around right now. Thank you for your comment.
That's dope. No, she's awesome. She's actually a counselor herself, and she's been a part of GTC for a little bit now, and she's had so many cool shifts. It's been cool to be part of her growth process.
Nice. Welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you mentioned the story about the real estate person that got the $40,000 deal. What are some other success stories that you want to share that have come from your program?
Yeah, one of the really first ones was my first client's Dawn. She was in financial advising, and she worked with me. Well, I met her and she put me off for like 5 months of calling me back. And I just followed up with her. I was persistent. It's just like, I know you saw the value when we met, and we met at like a networking event, just kind of cool. She'd always been into personal development, never had like a coach that she could ask questions to when she had a question about a book, So she really wanted to work with me, but, my fee was a little too high for her at the time. She was a single mom going through divorce. And so she decided to put me off. But when we met the next time, she said, I noticed that there was something different about you. So she noticed that I kind of leveled up, and she said my energy signature had changed or something. And so she decided to do a down payment and get started. Well, we worked out that, she would owe me this much over this amount of time. Well, within the first 2 months, she went from number 35th to number 2. And she earned a commission that is exactly within $50 what she owed, the budget of the balance of what she owed me. And she also, by the way, she lost 25 pounds in 3 months. And she has a condition that would make that very difficult, slows your metabolism down. And when she wanted to get her blood checked the 3 months after she'd started working with me, the doctor was like, how are your numbers really off, but you've lost weight? And she said, I just hired a mindset coach. And so I still haven't gone in to talk with him, but like he didn't understand he couldn't explain it. And to this day, I don't know how to explain it, except for I taught her to see herself as the perfect weight. And she just shrunk down very quickly. And I don't know how it happened. She said she didn't change anything else. And now she's a coach in GTC, and she's transforming other people's lives because of it. So,
wow.
It's really cool. It works for everybody every single time.
Wow.
There's never anybody that it won't work for. It's just, are you willing to commit and do the work and just every day show up for yourself? Most people are not, they're committed to investing in other things, but not investing in themselves,
So this going to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't really need to do it. I could just be like, look, I imagine myself being ripped up, shredded up,
That'll be the start of it. That'll be the definite start of it. And she would go to the gym and she would walk. She would walk. She wouldn't run. She wouldn't lift weights. She didn't start that till later on. But she would just go and walk. She would walk the lake in the morning. She'd wake up early and go walk the lake. And she was getting fresh air and breathing. And you don't know what's happening. Maybe she was holding on to energy of like a divorce and she was able to let some of that go. You don't know why exactly it's happening, but it happened. It's a case study. And, each person has their own experience, so it's really cool.
Now that's a great story, and that's what we call a transformation. And I think the transformation starts when you can shift your mindset and your way of thinking. So that's a fantastic story. So you mentioned books earlier. What are the most common books that you gift to people or recommend to people?
Well, you can get a free copy of Bob's You Were Born Rich. You can get that on, you just Google it, really. Or I can send you a link or something. It's really awesome book. There's chapters on risk taking and, let go and let God, like really deep things that help entrepreneurs. Other books that I love is The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. I also love Think and Grow Rich. That's what a lot of the information is founded on. Yeah. I mean, think about that. Bob has studied that book for 60 years, the same copy. And then some of the programs have been developed around all those principles. So it's just an incredible book. Other books that I enjoy are The Science of Getting Rich.
Wallace Waddles. Yep.
I also love Psycho-Cybernetics. And I also like, oh gosh, I like U Squared. Talks about quantum leaping, something that's awesome. As a Man Thinketh, James Allen.
Yep.
And then I indulge in Bob Proctor's work. I just feel like I try to keep it simple. And he's kind of like me, he didn't have a lot of education. He went to 8th grade, a couple months of high school. And he figured out how to be successful, not even knowing what he did. But he was listening to Earl Nightingale stuff, and it was just reprogramming his mind. And he went from nothing to something. And I took inspiration from that as well. And that's one of the things that I really liked about him, is that I kind of resonated with his story. And if he could do it, then why couldn't I do it? Especially if he's offering the keys to the kingdom, understanding the mind and how it works and how to reprogram yourself. The thing that was most surprising was that he said the subconscious mind controls 96 to 98, majority of everything we do. It's a program. How we brush our teeth, how we drive our car, how we, all this stuff. And only a small percentage are you conscious of. So if you're not really practicing the power of now and being present and thinking about what you want in that moment versus past or future, you're really not even existing. You're just a program, and you're repeating what your parents taught you. You're just a product of your environment. And I just thought that was so crazy. Kind of like the movie Groundhog's Day. Every day is a version of the last day. Wow. I just thought that's not a way to live. I think life would be more exciting, even if it was scarier, if I just did something that is outside the box.
Wow. Eric, what do you think about that? The power of now. That sounds
the power of now.
Reminds me of
the discipline of now.
Yeah.
It's a great book on overcoming procrastination I heard about. That's what I call my shameless plug, Kevin. It's my shameless plug. That's the book I wrote. That's my book, The Discipline of Now.
I want to read it.
Yeah, check it out. So talking about reading, I'm just really curious. Like, what are your reading habits? Like, how often? How many books?
Every morning, without fail, even on a camping trip, I snuck my phone in on a father-son camp out, or a father, whatever it was. Every morning for an hour, we read different articles, and we take turns. We just kind of hand off the baton in the morning on a Zoom call. And it's a great opportunity for people to learn how to read better, because most people stop at around grade 7, they say. And I've seen people that are like, they don't want to read at all, and then they're just like totally outgoing and well-spoken at the end of it. But we read these amazing articles on persistence and the common denominator of success and decision. Right now we're reading one on attitude. Earl Nightingale called it the magic word. The magic word, success, is the attitude. And we're studying that. We do it for 3 weeks. And we allow people to come on for 3 weeks for free just to try it out and see how it feels to be around other people that are growing every single day. So much value coming from that place. And the books that we've read in there are The Power of Awareness, which is huge, so deep. Can never read it enough. But mostly it's just been these articles.
Okay. Because I'm an avid reader just like you. So as you were mentioning these books, I'm writing them down, and I'll definitely be reading that as well. So I can just from talking to you, we can tell that you have a system in place. That's why I asked you that question. I hope some of our entrepreneurs picked up on that, and they can get a system themselves. And I think that can help to shift their mindset.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people that complain, "Oh, it's too early. I can't do that. I'm sleeping at that time." And that's a mindset. I'm like, all right, well, you're obviously not meant for this right now, but maybe you want to do something on the side. I don't think you're supposed to be an entrepreneur quite yet if you can't dedicate yourself to getting up whenever you say you're going to get up. And it's not for me. Do it because you said you're going to do it. You know, discipline yourself. Give yourself a command and do it. Just because you can. Try it. Practice it. Gets easier and easier.
Absolutely. So Kevin, what's next on the horizon for you?
President of the United States, 2024.
Okay.
Got to get in there and
Vote for Kevin.
The golden ticket.
There you go.
Vote for the golden ticket to America, you know, admittance to the life of the dream for each American, really. It's not about me getting there. It's about me being able to unleash the power of everybody else. And I believe that we all have within us genius locked up, just nobody believes in them all. You know what I mean? But I believe in every single one of you. What do you want? If you can tell me what you want, I hope I can show you how to get it. And my mentor taught me that, and I didn't believe it at first. And then
you got my vote. You got my vote, man. I'm all in. You got my. I'm all in. I'm with it.
Look, I can't do it alone, so I need awesome people like you guys that have a goal, a dream, want to make huge, massive, successful people in this country and in the world eventually. You know, I think the best world I can imagine is all countries just collectively going towards this awesome goal, and you don't have time for racism or anything else that's plaguing anything else that's plaguing anything. You see what I mean? It's just all just distraction. You know what I mean? Can't we go after a goal and forget the shit? That's what I feel, man.
Sounds like the way to go.
I'm telling you. Just remember, so when you get elected president, you got to come back.
Yeah.
As a guest, as the president.
If you'll have me, I'm here, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look, hey, my American flag right in the background. I don't mess around. I made that actually. Made that out of wood. I used to have a wood shop and just handcrafted by Kevin Koch. I love it. It's just my creative expression.
Nice.
Oh man. So it is now time to go around the horn. And Kevin, this is the part of the program where we each leave a closing thought that we want people to remember about this episode that will help them to become unstoppable. And Kevin, you're the guest of honor. What is that closing thought that you want to leave the people with?
The thought that I will leave the people with is this. Sorry, I was going to try to be funny. Look, you have to remember who you are. There's a great book called Self-Remembering. Write that one down too, Eric. Self-remembering. Remember who you are. Once you do that, all things are possible. If you don't know what that means, find someone that can help you awaken to your true purpose. And that's what mentorship is all about. And you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything, if you believe you can do it. And the belief is the hang up for most entrepreneurs out there. Well, some of you. And if you struggle with belief, then you work on your self-image. And I'll say it like this. At the center of your consciousness is an image of perfection, meaning you're perfect the way you are, and you've got genius inside of you. All you got to do is move towards it, and all the rest will line up. Surround yourself with people that will help you. The mastermind principle is very powerful, but you can never outperform your self-image. So really study you and get to know you and trust in you, because you go wherever you go. You're always with you.
That boy good.
Man, that's a great point.
Good. He is good. That boy good.
I'm telling you.
That's good stuff.
It's truth, man. It's truth.
We're ready to run through a wall now, Kevin. You got us pumped up and inspired, ready to make it happen.
Now get
Sure.
your goals
Thank you for
straight.
sharing that.
Clarity in your goals is so massive. It's so crucial to have clarity in whatever you want.
For sure. Okay, Ted. No pressure.
Yeah, tough act to follow, man. I'm kind of going back on the whole living your purpose, right? So it's interesting, you know, I've been in business for like 20 plus years, Kevin, and, you know, and oftentimes people ask me about my exit plan, right? And I have a real hard time with that because I'm having too much fun with what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy what I am doing. You know, so I know you need to come up with your exit plan and how you're going to do that. But I mean, again, I'm enjoying the ride, right? And I think that as when you're living your purpose and you're doing what you're doing, and it doesn't seem like work, and it's like you don't, when people are like, it's Monday. And sometimes I feel like, I know this is crazy, I got to be like, it's Monday. I'm like, yeah, but it's Monday. Like I'm cool with it being Monday, or it's Friday. Friday, it's Monday. It's the same thing. I enjoy what I'm doing, whether it's Friday or Monday. And I just think that that's what you want. You want that situation that you enjoy what you're doing just as much if it's Friday or it's Monday.
I say every day's Saturday. Got that from one of my clients. I said every day's Friday, and he's like, every day's Saturday. Saturday's better. I'm like, you know what? Saturday is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day's Saturday.
Absolutely.
It's the off day where you don't have to do jack diddly except for have fun potentially. And Saturday's the day for me. Or I'm living my dream. You know, I'm in heaven. I mean, I started saying that early on because I really wanted to. I really believed that heaven was on earth, and I feel like that's what most people want at the end of the day. Their exit strategy is really when they die, where do they think they're going? And they're all afraid of like not going to heaven. Well, heaven is now. And if you're not living heaven now, that's a mindset. And you can shift that. And once you do, everything else starts getting a little easier in life.
See, I know Kevin is that guy. His friends probably, man, they're having a bad day. They just call Kevin. Kevin, man, it's been a tough week. Well, what's been so tough about it? I mean,
most people do not want to hear from me when they're having a bad day because they know I'm going to try to fix it. And they're like, I just want you to hear my problems. I swear. I've got really good at listening, though. So I'm like, do you want to be coach right now? They're like, no. All right.
that's too cool.
Just a listening ear.
Great comments, Ted. And so when I think about this around the horn piece, I take it back to this idea of you won't outperform your self-image. I think that was a great comment, Kevin. And it's no accident that the most successful people are also the most confident. But I also think it's a balance that you need, right? I think you have to, if you really want to succeed, you want to grab that golden ticket, you have to be confident and coachable at the same time.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to know that you can do it, but I think you need to be aware that you need a coach to get to that next level. So I've worked with some really talented people over the years, but just never took the next step because they just wouldn't surrender to the coaching. They wouldn't submit to the coaching process.
Yeah.
Well,
They already arrived.
Didn't they say even Michael Jordan had a coach?
Exactly. Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, anybody that's you could consider to be the GOAT. That's one thing they had in common. They had a great coach somewhere along the lines.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think that's a coincidence. So I agree 100% with the idea that, you know, it's all about your self-image. You won't outperform your self-image, but you need to be humble enough to know that you need that person on the outside of your box to help you to get to that next level.
Yeah. I
Man, let me
think
say that, Kevin, look, this is one of those shows. It could be like a 3-hour show.
We're gonna have to have you back, man. Like
Exactly.
this is some good stuff. Like,
I'm telling you.
it's all kind of hearts. It's all kind of hearts and things popping up, going up and down the street. I mean, people are really, you know, they're really feeling this. So this is good stuff, man.
That's awesome. I'm glad to be part of
Kevin, we
Awakening
appreciate
the World to True
Go
Potential.
ahead, Kevin.
As I said, I'm glad to be a part of Awakening the World to its truest potential. And I want to make a massive impact. My goal is to reach 100 million people a month. I figured I'll do that as president, but why can't we do it beforehand? And it's just about, connecting with people that are also on the same wavelength. They want to make a massive impact. And the impact is this: awaken to your true potential, live your dream, and don't have any reasons why you can't. You don't believe that? Let's talk.
There you have it.
Kevin,
how can the people connect with you?
GoldenTicketCoaching.com. You can schedule an appointment to talk with me or one of my coaches. Golden Ticket Coaching on Facebook or Instagram as well. And just like or subscribe or comment. You can find me on YouTube as well. I do videos. And one of my big passions is going into corporations and helping them shift the culture of their business and helping them to see that, just a simple shift in your people will bring you such value. And, it's starting with every business and every jail, and then moving up to the business of the country. I'm just excited to make big ripples.
Well, Meredith Bracey says Kevin Cook is an awesome coach, very intelligent, personable, and it's ingrained in him, and he will be president 2025. So you got to vote there. This Meredith Bracey is all behind. She's all in. She's all in.
Thank you, Meredith, for your vote of confidence. We will. Together we will.
Fantastic. Y'all better connect with him now. When he's president, it's gonna be much harder to get close to him. So you want to connect right now. That's why I'm reserving our next podcast appearance here as soon as possible.
Now, man. Book it now. Never leave a call without making another call appointment.
Book it.
All right. Fantastic. So something else that's curious to me, the thing you do with your hand, what's the significance behind it? I know you've been doing this thing with your hand. When someone makes, what's the significance behind it?
In Brazil, it's very significant. I don't know why, where it came from, but they'll use it as like a way to show impact. They're like, oh, it was so good. It was so good. Or they'll be like, I was running so fast. Or like, I don't know why. I mean, in Kentucky, you use it to pack your dip. I didn't really dip, but I don't know what. I think I picked it up from like a Mormon missionary, and they probably picked it up from someone that had gone to Brazil. When I went down to Brazil, everybody was doing it. I'm like, that's weird, because I had already known how to do it. That just helps me show impact, and I'm getting excited, you know.
So Meredith says, "All snap." That's what she said.
All snap. Right.
Oh man, it's great.
You guys are fun, man. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Good, man. Thank you. Just happy to have you, man.
Absolutely.
For
Gold
sure.
Ticket Coaching, we're changing the world, and it's a movement. It's beyond me, you know. We're reading an article right now that says, I'm grateful to the idea that has used me. And I thought, man, that is exactly what this is. Like, when I thought of what should my business name come, I didn't actually even think about it. It just kind of came to me like a download. And I thought that makes total sense. I love this movie, and there's so much meaning behind it. So this is an idea that's moving me, really, and it's causing me to grow, to keep up with it, really. So the mission is simple. Assure admittance to the life of your dreams. What does that look like? Don't believe that it's not possible for you, because it is.
All right. Well, this has been an awesome episode of the 30-minute hour podcast. I told you it's not your everyday podcast. Now you see why we say that.
Because we are bringing the guests, man. Eric, we are bringing the guests. Man.
Absolutely. This is definitely an episode you want to share. Share with somebody that you know needs the message, help them to tweak their mindset, take their game to the next level, help them level up. And don't forget, you can listen to this again on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of those other places that you like to get your podcasts. Remember, don't forget. I know I just said that just now, but you got to share the show. Yeah, you have to share the show.
Share the show. Kevin, that's where the snap was supposed to come in. Get it, man.
Listen.
That's right.
Share the show, you know. Caring is sharing, you know.
That's right.
Exactly.
You perceive value, give value.
For sure. All right. So we look forward to the next episode of the 30-minute hour podcast. Until then, have a great one.
Peace.